We have started to record the most recent session of SPCH 1113, Introduction to Public Speaking, for the first summer session. Our only Friday session is today, May 30th, 2025. I want to do a variety of things looking at effective content delivery and visuals, but because we have our first graded presentations coming up, demonstrative, Wednesday and Thursday of next week, it's important that you start to acquaint yourself with the different types of recording options that are going to be using your webcam and either Google Slides or Canva. So before we get to the SAU critique checklist, I wanted to do the following. As you know, the way that I have it set up on Loom, I always try to take my webcam and put it on the bottom right-hand side of the screen because all of my data, as you can see, is on the bottom left-hand portion of the screen. That's just an anomaly of the way my setup is on Loom. But this is in, as you can see, the student preview mode, exactly the way that you'll see it when you access your information. But when you scroll down, I've made a couple of additions. For instance, session 1, Wednesday, session 2, Thursday, previously provided links to the videos that had been downloaded to my computer from Loom and then uploaded to YouTube. The problem, and some of you may have seen it yesterday if you were watching session 2 on YouTube, is that some of the graded presentations were having some anomalies with color. I was getting a little bit of background of yellow. It didn't look quite right. So what I've decided to do, and you'll notice in just a moment, is I am taking my original video presentations from Loom and making them available for you at these links. Session 1, let me show you what session 2 looks like whenever I originally record it. This is the tab. As you can see, it looks very professional. I pay $20 a month to get the whole shebang, an academic term, if you will, which allows me on the right-hand side to have a transcript of everything that I say. The advantage most of you will have with a 30-day trial subscription to Loom is that you shouldn't have any issues with time management. You can probably go beyond 5 minutes, but I tweaked the syllabus a bit. So the maximum time that you have to speak, you can go beyond it if you want, is going to be 5 minutes next week for demonstrative, the following week for informative, the following week for persuasive, and the last week for wild card. So let me show you what it looks like. I'll leave it at this size. I won't make it full screen. I'm going to play about 2 minutes of this so you can see with a link directly coming from Blackboard that I am trying to speak in a complete sentence structure. You can follow the transcript, and we'll be doing this with your graded presentations as well if you decide to use Loom. You can use Microsoft SharePoint. You can use whatever technology you want as long as I can see your face on the screen during your presentation. This is a little bit of what we were discussing yesterday with my audio, my video, and remember, I have my headphones plugged into my computer, so I'm not going to get any type of feedback. But notice what I say and the transcript on the right-hand side. We have started to record the most recent session of SPCH 1113, Introduction to Public Speaking, for the first summer session. It is Thursday, May 29th, 2025. Keep in mind, guys, that I record these videos on the same day that you see them. So session 1, when you go down on this area of the student preview mode of Blackboard, which I'll show you in a moment, indicates that it was Wednesday, the 28th. Same thing for today. Keep in mind that because of the Memorial Day holiday, I will be here tomorrow. For at least the first week, our sessions are going to be someplace in the area of about 30 minutes, give or take. I want all of you to feel familiar with going to Blackboard on a regular basis, accessing information, accessing video clips, which I'll show you how to do in a moment. And then next week, getting into the nuts and bolts of recording on Canva or on Google Slides. And as you see on the bottom of the screen, incorporating your webcam into your presentations. And let me say something before we begin. You recall that yesterday I put my coffee cup on screen for a few times, indicating that I am always grading or viewing your presentations with the glass being half full. Whenever you record presentations on your computer, it's very important that you take your headphones and plug them in to your computer. And here's why. It's not unusual for many of us to incorporate audio or video into our presentations. However, if you do not plug your headphones into the computer, you're going to get basically double audio. What I will be doing at some point with all of your graded presentations during the first summer session is to mute your audio and either have a transcript similar to this on the right-hand side, or possibly put up closed captioning, such as this, to see whether or not you're not only having any kind of vocalics, ers, ahs, ums, uhs, problems with grammar or syntax, but whether or not you're speaking in a complete sentence structure. As I'd indicated at the outset, it's just the way that my Loom is set up, where I have to, in my recording session, during it, take the webcam and move it over to the right-hand side. Because, of course, with the English language, everything is usually starting on the left, and I like my visual on the bottom right. Now, if you want to tweak it a little bit, that's okay. I'm going to show you later on today a demonstrative speech from the first summer session of 2021 that's on my YouTube channel from a young lady who has her visual on the bottom left-hand side of the screen. So let me take off the closed captioning and move to the end. Now we're in the last 4 to 5 minutes, and notice I can also tweak the transcript, and that was the end of yesterday's class session. So if I just want to bring it back a couple of minutes, play it in real time, and pick up the audio, what am I saying? So as we wrap things up for session 2, which is course requirements part 2, remember that from this location, you'll be able to access session 2 and it goes on, but you get the idea. And as I'd indicated, the reason that I went back to this technology, I'll come back to me here. The reason that I am using the original Loom video links for you to access is because whenever I upload these videos to YouTube, the presentations, the interactivity, they don't look in terms of video quality the same. So I'm still going to take these videos and upload them to my YouTube channel, but the advantage that all of you have when you're at my Blackboard site in the student preview mode, you're seeing the original videos. Now, video 1, session 1, video 2, session 2, And here I added something new. How to record a presentation. I would strongly encourage all of you to bookmark the Loom website if that's what you want to utilize. This provides a link to a website on Loom and a video that I'm going to show you right now. So I added this yesterday. It's called How to Record a Presentation. You have the Loom website, which has tons of information, but I wanted to show this to you. Record your Google Slide, PowerPoint, or Keynote presentation with ease. Many of you are going to be using Google Slides, but I wanted to incorporate this into a class video so you could see a video tutorial from this young lady. I'll put on, once I play this, I'll go ahead and put on the closed captioning. Here it is.
Hey, Chanel here from the Loom team. I'm going to walk you through how to record your Google Slides presentation with the Loom Chrome extension. The thing you'll want to do after you've opened the Loom Chrome extension is choose which part of your screen you're going to record. You can always turn off your camera bubble as well down here by toggling no camera. If you want to change your camera source, you can also do that here. Then you'll want to choose your microphone source. You can check that your audio is being captured with the audio receptors here. If you want to add a bit more of a polished look to your camera bubble, you can add effects. You can add a blurred background or a specific color. Once you're all set, you can hit Start Recording. Choose Entire Screen and Share. Take a few moments to gather your thoughts while you have your countdown. And then you'll want to click the slideshow option from your Google Slides. Now that we're in presentation mode, you can use your keyboard arrows to navigate your slides. And once you're satisfied with your recording, you can click Finish and you'll be instantly redirected to your video share page. From your video share page, you can use the trim option from your editing side panel to remove that first section of your recording before you were in presentation mode. So you can just toggle to remove that first section and click Save. And once you're done editing your video, you can copy the link here and instantly share it out to your viewers. Thanks for watching.
The most important thing I can say, guys, is just experiment. So for instance, let me go back to this part of the student preview mode, Loom, how to record a presentation. Now I'm going to go back to exactly where I just was. From this location, not only can you check out the recording process, but you can just click on the Loom website and you can just start to experiment. That's what I would tell you if you are in one of my mass communication or mass media courses. I'm not big on tutorials. I just want you to go in and experiment and find something that works best for you. It may not be Loom. It can be Microsoft SharePoint. It can be anything else as long as we see your face on camera with a webcam. There are all different kinds of technologies out there. You may have experimented in high school, or if you are a transfer student with another technology, and that is certainly acceptable. It doesn't really matter to me. I want to make certain that on every Wednesday and every Thursday, that whenever I begin to record, and I'll probably start to record sometime around 1 in the afternoon, which means that if I have a couple of more presentations on a Thursday than on a Wednesday, that's acceptable. I'll fill the time no matter what, because the more presentations you see, especially next week, when we are demonstrating a process. It can be a hobby. It can be something that involves a craft or something that involves cooking. The examples that I've provided yesterday on my YouTube channel, with tons of examples there, tons of examples that are on my website that I'll show you on Monday and Tuesday of next week. So now let me go to the checklist. And I'll make it a little bit bigger. Remember, this is an informal guide for content, delivery, visuals, for a total of 21 different categories, 7 each for content and delivery and visuals. So as you start the process of putting your materials together, your storytelling on the slides, because the visuals, the verbiage, the bullet points that you put on your slides are going to help you be a quality communicator in front of the camera. Don't ever be afraid that you're going to, in a non-academic term, screw up. This is, like yesterday, my second take of the day. I didn't make a verbal faux pas. I just did something that was a technical boo-boo that probably nobody other than myself would have seen. So I still have the original, which I'll probably erase from my Loom library, and I'll show you that at the end of class. But when it comes to the SAU speech critique, let me get up here just a little bit. There. When you are examining the content of your presentation, whether it's demonstrative next week, or informative, or persuasive, or the last week with wildcard, always keep these concepts in mind informally. In terms of content, those 7 areas, is your research thorough? Organization, logical. Introduction, relevant. Main and supporting points, apparent. Conclusion, compelling. Fairness, inclusive. And analysis, thoughtful. That's why you continue to play around with formatting, play around with your different demonstration style, because you're probably going to record 4 or 5 different takes and then submit to me to either my SAU or my alternate Yahoo address a link to your Loom or Microsoft SharePoint presentation that I can play in class the same way that I just showed you bits and pieces of session 2 from yesterday. Then we get down to delivery. Is your extemporaneous style continuous? Now notice, I'm not looking off to the side. I'm not reading off a teleprompter, even though my background is in broadcast journalism, broadcast media. I was first on the radio at 14 and 15. I was first in television at the age of 17. So I've been involved in media all of my life, been involved in collegiate debate when I was at graduate school at UNLV. So my background is in mass communication and public speaking. So I feel very comfortable being an extemporaneous speaker, but it takes practice. You don't want to read something directly off a script unless it's very important, if you're a politician where every word's going to count. Is your conversational style expressive? If you're extemporaneous, most of the time you're going to be conversational. Is your eye contact full? It's a little bit different in a face-to-face class. If I'm teaching this course in the summer, it would be in Overstreet Hall 302, the mass media classroom. And I know there are people in this course during the first summer session who are my students, my majors in mass communication with an emphasis in mass media. And you know that I'm pretty much the same face-to-face that I am online. I want to be extemporaneous. I want to be conversational. I want to be a good role model as a public speaker. Is your articulation and enunciation clear? Usually what that means is that you're making an extra effort to fully enunciate every syllable. This is not a voice and articulation class where every syllable is going to be overdone for the sake of making certain that every vowel or every sound comes out of your mouth. It's more a matter of just being aware of how you look and how you sound. That's really key to your overall success as a public speaker because people do treat you differently by the way you act, by the way you appear, and most importantly, by the way you carry yourself and by the way you speak. Is your vocal variety varied? Never forget that your voice is very much like a musical instrument. Are your nonverbal cues poised? Do you come across as someone who is in charge? If you've been practicing, that's going to come across when you speak. The less you practice, the more self-conscious you're going to be, the more concerned you're going to be about making a mistake. The more you do this, the more you practice, the more you watch yourself. And remember, all of you grew up in a social media era, so you know what you look like, you know what you sound like because you've been on FaceTime, you've been on social media all of your lives. Many of you have probably been on TikTok or Snapchat or Instagram or other different types of social media platforms today or will be today. And I think most importantly, is your persona authentic? I can say this, and many people who have been in my classes know this. I am the same way in the classroom or outside the classroom the way that I am here. There is no fakery, there is no disingenuousness. This is me. Then when we get to your visuals, your slides, is the design uniform in terms of color, font style? All of that really does matter because that combination of font, color, visuals is going to, depending upon if you're more visually oriented with an image or you're more verbally oriented with any type of PowerPoint material that is in a bullet point, whatever works best for you. Font, color, shading. Is it readable to you and the audience? Spelling and grammar. Is it accurate? Nothing's going to kill your credibility more as a public speaker if something sticks out like a sore thumb. And I think most importantly, if there's ever any kind of challenging term that you need to pronounce, you can go online and find a particular website or a particular YouTube channel where someone knows how to pronounce a challenging name or a challenging term. Use all of that ethically to your benefit. Spelling and grammar accurate is important. Text image balance, comparable. So you don't want slides that are all visual with images. You don't want slides that are all bullet points. You want a nice combination of images and also text. And you'll see that in just a moment. From Essence Thomas 4 years ago. Is your interactivity recurrent? Notice that I try to practice what I preach. I include a lot of interactivity the same way that I would in the classroom. And you put everything together almost like a television program. So you've got all different kinds of audio and visuals. And like I said yesterday, make certain that you've got, if you're using audio visual material in your presentation, headphones that are plugged in so you're not getting any kind of feedback or double audio because that kills your credibility. And as I said yesterday, people are going to find it hard to hear what you say. Is your storytelling dynamic from one slide to another? And that's where the time management comes into play. Remember from the syllabus, a maximum of 6 slides, that should be enough for 5 minutes. And are your aesthetics engaging? Is it attractive in terms of color, in terms of the way you have everything set up for the slides? Attention to details matter. So those are elements from the SAU checklist, those 21 items in content, and delivery and visuals, trying to make it full screen so you can see all of them. But again, that is informal. That brings us back here with the syllabus itself, which we'll make bigger. Keeping in mind that when you're looking at next week's lineup for demonstrative speeches, when we're examining how to, Monday and Tuesday with topic selection and research, that you need to get an idea in your mind relatively quickly, which is why before we leave for the weekend, I wanted to show you what someone had done from a summer class involving a crafting speech. So that's what we're going to be doing Wednesday and Thursday of next week, Canva or Google Slides, 6 slides minimum, internet data, and of course the videos that you submit to me, with the length being 4 to 5 minutes. If it's a little bit longer, that's okay. Before I go any further, I want to show you my Loom library. These are all of the videos that I have recorded, including yesterday, our first day of the term. I was experimenting with video, and then as I start to scroll through, you can see as the videos populate everything that I did last summer, including stuff that students were submitting to me and I was uploading to my channel, all the way back here for the course overview from first summer of 2024. A lot of these were presentations that were sent to me that I uploaded to my particular channel. Now we'll come back here and you can see me on camera one more time. Those are some of the student speech examples that are still going to be populated in time. But I wanted to wrap things up for the day by showing you a presentation that was done with exactly as much preparation time as what you have. This is my YouTube channel, and I want to show you Essence Thomas. The first time that I saw Essence was when she graduated in the spring of 2024. And she took this class, as you can see, during the pandemic. First summer session, 2021. Essence was also, later on, the Southern Arkansas University homecoming queen. Very talented young lady. But you'll notice that in the first summer session of 2021, she decided to give a demonstrative speech on how to create a glass music frame souvenir. So what I want to do is to unmute the presentation and show it to you in real time. It is more than 6 minutes. I'll probably play 3 minutes, pause it, and then put the closed captioning on to check her ability to speak in a complete sentence structure. But this is an example of a craft-based demonstrative presentation for this class. 4 years ago, Essence Thomas.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Essence Thomas, and today I will be teaching you all how to create a glass music frame souvenir. Let's jump right into it. And the pictures you see at the top are examples of what a glass music frame souvenir is and what it would look like by the end of this video. So many ask, what is a glass music frame souvenir? A glass music frame souvenir is typically a glass frame, but it helps you symbolize something special for you. And in this case, it is an album or a song, because everyone has a song that means a special meaning to them that they would like to keep with them. So it's mostly used for weddings, birthdays. It can represent death dates, favorite songs, musical motivation, and it can also be used for home office and room decor. And it's very popular in this generation. Here's an example of one made. The history behind music memories is the use of placing a song or album on something that's transportable and transparent to remember always wherever you go. So, for example, for a soldier, maybe the national anthem will be something that means that's really dear to his heart. A wedding first dance for a newly married couple, a relationship favorite song, maybe a childhood song, or even a high school class song for a graduate to always remember. And here's an example of one of the music frames I made myself for my grandma, and I entitled it Grandma's Hands by the famous Bill Withers. And I also utilized pictures of me and her from when I was first born and when I was 3. These are the items you will need, and most of these items you can get from Dollar Tree and Walmart. The items checklist: you need a glass picture frame, which can be one of the certificates that you can get for $1 at Dollar Tree. You need spray glue. You need Oracle 15 adhesive vinyl, which can be the color of your choice. You need a printer with paper, a computer with the Silhouette 4 app, which I will be showing you what the app looks like. You will need a cutting sheet. You will need a Silhouette Cameo 4, or any Silhouette. It can be a original Cricut that will help too, but in this case, I will be showing you how to use the Silhouette Cameo 4. You will need a weaving tool, transfer tape, and scissors. Here's an example of what my Silhouette Cameo 4 looks like. It's what we'll be cutting for you. And the green is what the cutting board looks like. And here's the scissors and the weaving tool. And the Silhouette logo, that is what the app will look like whenever you begin to start. And here's a quote that I thought was very appropriate for this occasion. Music at its essence is what gives us memories. And the longer a song has existed in our lives, the more memories we have of it. This was quoted by Stevie Wonder. All right, step 1. You want to gather your favorite song and picture and make sure you have all your items. And when you go into the app, you type in the song as I did in this video, and you want to make sure that you're cutting in Oracle 651. Next, you want to place your vinyl in a Silhouette cutting board and make sure you allow it the full time to cut, or the words will come out wrong, like exactly the way you want it to be. And then once that is completed, you unload the machine. Next, you want to use your weaving tool to remove any of the extra vinyl away from the words, and take your tape to lay on top and make sure you rub it to where the words will come smooth off, because once you put it on the frame, you want it to stick clearly so it will stay. Then you want to print off your picture, the picture that you want to use, and so you can use on the thing. And once you spray it, you spray the front side of the picture and you lay it flat on the frame. And here's a video of me removing the tape from a frame. And as you can see, the vinyl is completely stuck on there and it's not coming off. This is a picture of the finishing product of multiple frames. As you can see, there's a couple of them, and I've used a variety of different colors and pictures, and they really turned out good. And I actually make these as a kind of like a business. So other examples of musical souvenirs that I've done are shown in this video. As you can see, I've also made keychains where you could do the same thing And those are examples of other musical souvenirs. And I just want to thank you all for watching. And if you have any further questions of where I got my machine from, or if something didn't go right, if you have any further questions, you can email me. Here's my email right here. And I thank you all for watching my presentation. And here is the finishing product of my glass music frame souvenir. Thank you.
She really does an outstanding job. Now, this is where I have to be careful because on occasion,
Hello, my name is Sierra
even
Penny.
though I'm
Today I'll be
trying
giving my
to
demonstrative speech on how to pick a color scheme for your home
pause
interior decor.
these speeches, sometimes the setup in the automatic, there we go. Sometimes the setup just will not let me go exactly where I want. So what I'll do here is just go back to my YouTube channel, see whether or not it will allow me to do that. And I'm caught kind of in a bind here. So what I will do instead, there we go. It's just taking quite a bit of time. Now I'm going to leave it here for this reason. I'm going to continue to post all of the Loom videos up to my YouTube channel. However, as I told you at the beginning, the best way to do it by watching course videos is to come back here at Blackboard, and I will close this and this and this to remind you when you are at Blackboard, this is originally what you see. Scroll down with the course syllabus. Now that I have added how to record a presentation on Loom, and you also have website material there as well. The instructor course videos originally from Loom, and that's where the links are. And then the student speech video examples, which I'll probably be continuing to add during the weekend. And I probably, at this point, even though the link is empty, as you can see the folder, I'll probably add representative examples of what you're doing during the first summer session in real time each week. So what are we going to be doing next week? Let's go to the course itinerary. Make it bigger. And as you can see, Monday, June 2nd, Tuesday, June 3rd, demonstrative speech research and topic selection. I'll be playing a lot of videos next week from my website. Also, probably from YouTube. And then Wednesday and Thursday of next week will be all of you. I will be adding, once the roster becomes official, another link which I will show you on Monday with the 9 people who are in this course. Some of you probably will want to go on Thursday. Some of you will want to go on Wednesday. If any of you have any kind of technical issues, please let me know, because I don't want to penalize someone who is still learning the technology. But that's why during a summer course, it's up to all of you to be more proactive and continue to experiment in the way that I have done here. But don't ever be afraid to ask me a question, because the bottom line is try to improve all of your abilities as public speakers. So I'll leave it right there. We will continue on Monday of next week with demonstrative speech research. Watch all of these videos. Try to pick up on what people are doing well, as you saw with Essence, who did an outstanding job. And that was just her first of 4 graded speeches in the first summer session of 2021. But I'll show a lot of summer 1 or summer 2 speeches, because they have exactly the same amount of time to prepare as all of you. I look forward to working with you next week during the demonstrative speech preparation as for SPCH 1113 Introduction to Public Speaking for the first summer session of 2025. That concludes our only Friday recording session for today. Have a nice, brief weekend. We will be back on Monday afternoon.